So I was out the other day and I was listening to some people and having some discussions at the bar with some people about work, because, that's obviously a topic that everyone talks about ad nauseum. And the general sentiment that I get from most people is that they hate their job so much. And it is really sad for me to hear that. And when I tell people, it's funny, when I tell people that I love my job and I, don't mind going into work and I enjoy it, I get these looks like I'm lying. And it's so funny to me that we're just preconditioned to hate our jobs, that honestly it makes me think that finding your passion in life and trying to turn that into a career, finding something at least you don't mind doing, is so important. I think that's honestly, besides having to pay your bills, I think that's more important than money, honestly, because we're going to spend, sadly, the majority of our life at work. And if you are miserable at your job, regardless of how much money you make, you could have some fun weekends and things, but if you're going to sit there and hate your life for the majority of the time being on this planet, that is a very sad reality and something that I think most people should avoid. And it's something that I'm seeing younger generations trying to avoid. Like I'm a millennial, a very late millennial. I'm close to being Gen Z by a couple years. But a lot of the older folks are hating on Gen Z for, not working hard or rejecting 9 to 5s, and they just don't want to work because they are sitting there thinking, I don't want to spend my whole life doing a job that I absolutely despise and hate. I'm going to try to find a job that I don't mind. My job's not going to be my whole life, like a lot of people, because a lot of people end up getting lost in the sauce with their job. That's what I like to call it. Where they prioritize their job over their real life. And, the amount of times I've heard people missing the birth of their child because they had a meeting at work, it's just funny to me how people, prioritize that when these companies don't really give a shit about you. They'll drop you in a second. But that's a little bit off the topic of finding your passion. But I think it's important to find a career or just something that you don't mind doing, because like I said, you're going to be doing it for a whole lot of time. And it honestly gives your life so much meaning when you're doing something you truly give a shit about and you feel like you're making an impact. Like for me, education is something I'm very passionate about. I feel when I go to work, I'm making an impact teaching the next generation of kids. I'm making an impact being there for them, and, if they need advice to, try to help them. And that helps a lot. Like if you are going to a soul-sucking 9 to 5 office job that you're just, crunching numbers, and you feel like you're not making any kind of impact on the world, because us as humans, just, it's hardwired in us to make an impact, to stand out, to do something that matters. And it feels like an almost soulless experience to just do something that really offers no meaning. I saw a video on YouTube the other day. Excuse that buzzing, that's the dryer going off right now. But I saw a video on YouTube talking about the rise of useless jobs, where, they're saying that the people that are in there crunching numbers for the, their businesses are not really impacting anything. And it's just a job to have a job. And I think that's really no way to live. And I've obviously worked jobs that I absolutely despised. I worked at, a bunch of restaurants. I've worked at an airport before. And those jobs, especially the restaurant jobs, man, it is such a painful thing having to go to work and just hating every second of it. And you're watching, especially if you work in the later afternoon and not the, regular 9 to 5, when you're slowly watching the clock get closer and closer when you have to leave, and you're just sitting there oh, damn it, I don't want to go in, I don't want to go in. And it was horrible. And honestly, while I make nowhere near as much money at my current job as I, did at other jobs I hated, my quality of life has went up so much, because there's not really the stress and anxiety of not wanting to go into work. I'm enjoying myself, so I'm in a better mood. And I honestly just could not imagine going back to a job that I hated. And I just think it's important, if there is any younger people that are listening to this. I don't have the age demographic of who's listening to this. I imagine for classic Halo, probably people in their, 30s and 40s. But you never know, there are some younger people, or there's just, some people in their 30s that are looking for, a job change or something, or they're going back to better their life in college like I am and things like that. Find your passion, because doing something you truly care about and something that is going to impact the world in a positive way is going to make you feel so much better. And I think the quote goes, if you find a job and a career that you're passionate about and you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that is something that everyone should strive for.